might sneak up behind you.
September is.
Tim, they're ready in the back?
Sorry? It's not
Ready
down,
in the back?
it's not down here, it's only up there.
Right up there.
Okay. Okay. September is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. We're using this opportunity to call on all of our citizens to shine a light on human trafficking. And I'm going to start with asking you to take a look at the monitors so you can see a PSA that we have available and will be running. No, that's not part of the PSA.
We're working hard to end human trafficking in our community, and you can help by participating in a special event on September 24th.
It's called Shine a Light on Human Trafficking, and it will include community gatherings throughout the greater Houston area, where you can learn how to recognize the signs
and how to report suspicious behavior so we can stop children and adults from being exploited for sex and labor. To find a gathering near you, go to shinealighthouston.org.
And let's all shine a light on human trafficking.
The September 24th kickoff of Shine a Light on Human Trafficking, the campaign will feature a series of events located throughout the community. It will include a screening of Sunny Square, film about human trafficking filmed in Houston, followed by discussion. It will also involve a lot of our various groups that have been part of the Human Trafficking Task Force over the last year. Human trafficking, very simply, is modern-day slavery. It's defined as the buying and selling of people for the purpose of forced, defrauded, coerced services, labor, or sex. We tend to think of human trafficking as being about the sex trade, and it often is, but human trafficking can also be about forced, unpaid labor as well. It is a crime. It is a crime everywhere in the world, and it is a crime that should not happen in the United States. Houston is considered a hub for human trafficking because we are a major international trade port. People from all over the world come through Houston. Not all of them are here by choice. Human trafficking can be international. Human trafficking can be domestic, meaning that those individuals who are trafficked can be U.S. citizens, or they can be individuals brought in from other parts of the world. More than a year ago, I created a Human Trafficking Task Force to look at what we could do in Houston to improve the situation. I'm joined by some task force members, including the chair, Maria Trujillo, of Houston Rescue and Restore Coalition. Human trafficking is something that we work on day in and day out in law enforcement. Houston Police Department, the Harris County Sheriff's Department. We work closely with federal agencies that are engaged in these initiatives, but there's a lot more that we can do as citizens to help out law enforcement. My Human Trafficking Task Force presented me with some strategies, including training 311 and frontline City of Houston staff on the issue of human trafficking, the kind of questions to ask and what to do if someone wants to report human trafficking. We created a resource list and map that includes all of the organizations that we have identified that work to address the problem in our city. And then finally, we've come up with a series of initiatives that you'll be hearing about in the coming months. And we will work with our federal counterparts. Senator Cornyn will be having a human trafficking roundtable presentation later on today that I will be taking part in. Identify identifying victims is the primary goal of the Shine a Light campaign, and providing resources to those victims. It would certainly help the law enforcement aspect as is appropriate, but we believe that this is just an area that we as citizens, as civilians, can have a bigger impact in. We want to give citizens the tools they need to recognize and report human trafficking situations, help identify victims, and report suspicious situations to authorities. We're going to be kicking off the Shine a Light on Human Trafficking campaign on September the 24th. The main event will be here at City Hall, but there will be other sites, including the Houston Galleria, Multi-Service Center, and neighborhood venues. We want to get the message out into the community where it's most accessible. And we want people to, as we roll it out over the next few weeks, we'll provide information on which locations are available so that folks can come. There is a website now. It's shinealighthouston.org, shinealighthouston.org. That should be the resource hub to which people should go in order to get more information. The website features educational PSAs, information about the September events, and various related resources. So we know that working together we can shine a light on human trafficking and end this form of modern-day slavery. Now, I am here to offer a proclamation announcing that September 2013 is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. This is actually the 150th anniversary of President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, declaring freedom from slavery. But unfortunately, with human trafficking, slavery still exists in this country. More than 21 million people worldwide are victims of human trafficking, both forced labor and sexual servitude. The National Human Trafficking Resource Center hotline receives a higher volume of calls from Houston than any other city in Texas. We have to come together to fight this as a community. It's not just enough to leave it to law enforcement. And again, we are here today to announce that there's going to be a series of public awareness events through the month of September to help citizens better engage. Therefore, I, Anise Parker, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim September 2013 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Houston, Texas. And I'm going to invite Ms. Video to accept the proclamation from me and from council members who are assembled here. And I thank you for sharing this task force. No one anticipates that the work of the task force is ending. Now it's the next phase of the work. And I'm going to invite you to speak a little bit about what's happening now with the task force.
Sure, thank you. We're excited. We've had a lot of work that we've accomplished in this first year of the task force. One, putting together a major public awareness campaign, which Mayor Parker announced with the Shine a Light Houston campaign, which we will, at the campaign, we'll be providing pocket cards to community members throughout the city to teach people how they could be part of the solution. Because really, every person can be a part of that solution to bring it into human trafficking. Here's an example of that pocket card that people will be getting on September 24th. We really believe that it really takes the entire community to come together around this issue to bring a true end to slavery in our city. And we're excited to educate people about that issue. We have a lot of things, as the mayor has said, to work on in the next years to come. But we're excited to launch this public awareness campaign. And all of September, we'll have a series of public events all throughout the month that people can learn more about this issue, and again, how they could be part of the solution, because it does take everyone to bring it into this crime. Thank you.
If you go to the city's website, shinealighthouston.org is up and running. And we have, well, I don't have the source cards available today.
They have copies now.
They have copies of the cards. One of the things we tried to do is, could we distill to one small piece of paper the scope of the problem? And could we provide enough information to the average citizen on what the problem was and how to address it? And I think we've done a pretty darn good job, but it's going to take time to filter this information out. We see cases of, spectacular cases that make the newspapers where there's a rescue of women who are held in bondage in the back rooms of cantinas in Houston as sex slaves. But we know that nationwide and worldwide, the estimate is that less than 1% of the victims are rescued. Less than 1%. And we see often in certain parts of Houston women working as prostitutes in public, on street corners, and I hear regularly how that is a victimless crime. Perhaps, but more likely, that woman today is underage. She's not a woman, she's a girl, and that there is someone in the shadows controlling her actions, taking her money, and forcing her into those activities. Our goal is to shine a light on all of these different aspects of human trafficking to try to make a difference. And then there's the hidden side of human trafficking. I'm going to call out some entities right now. I don't know of a so-called modeling studio in the city of Houston that is not a front for human trafficking, unless it is one of those that advertises in, there are some legitimate modeling studios, Page Parks and others, but the modeling studio on your local street corner is a front for human trafficking. There are massage parlors in Houston where you can get a really great massage, and they are legitimate businesses. And there are massage parlors in Houston that are fronts for human trafficking, where men and women have no choice to be there. There are domestic labor situations in Houston where someone is brought from another country to provide nanny services or housekeeping services. And then when they come to the United States, they find that they are not allowed to leave the house, they're not allowed to communicate with their family members, and they're not paid for their services. These are all types of human trafficking. We're going to shine a light on that over the next months. I appreciate council members who are standing with me. They are all committed to shining a light on human trafficking, and I appreciate the members of the committee, the task force that's been working on this. I'll tell you that I might not answer all your questions today because